Hello my dear students, let's start with another chapter. This is also your last chapter in your geography book, that is unit 10, Life in a Desert. Now when we talk about desert, or before further starting with the chapter, let me tell you about what is a desert. You all know desert is a dry, arid land. That means all around you can find sand. There is less of vegetation, less of population, and even the climate is dry and hot. So when we talk about desert not only mean hot, but it also means cold also. Now when we talk about, it can be a hot desert or a cold desert. Now when we talk about the term desert, it means a dry, arid land. That means no vegetation. So even in cold desert, it's a dry land. Even if there is ice, that doesn't mean. But it's a dry, there is less vegetation. There it's cold, and it's so cold that there hardly anything grows. So desert can be of two types. That is, you can see here, it can be a hot desert and it can be a cold desert. Now in this chapter, we will be studying about two types. One is a hot, that is the Sahara Desert, which is situated in Africa, and another we will be talking about cold desert, that is in India, that is Ladakh. Now let's start with the first topic, that is about the hot desert. Now when we talk about the hot desert Sahara, which is located in one of the continent, that is Africa, and it is the largest desert in the world. And why it is largest? Because it covers a lot of area, that is 8.54 million square kilometers. Now the Sahara touches 11 countries, so you can imagine how big is this desert. So let's see which all country it touches. It touches Algeria, Chad, Egypt, Libya, Mali, Sudan, Niger, Morocco, Mauritania, Tunisia, and Western Sahara. So this is, you can see as here is a picture of a desert. So now desert is a dry, arid land, and Sahara is one of the, it's the world's largest desert. Now when you know it's a desert, we also know its climate. We know that it is a hot desert, so the climate will be dry and hot. So how is the climate? It is hot and dry. It's hot and dry with clear skies, parched land, scorching heat, and a very short period of rainfall. That is a very short period of rainy season. Now the moisture, because it is so hot, the moisture evaporates very fast because the land is so hot. And as the rain falls, the moisture evaporates immediately. Now you all know that Sahara, why is Sahara so hot? Because it is situated near the equator. And you know that we have been studying that equator, the countries that are situated on the equator or near the equator are very hot. They are having they are very hot, okay? So, and it is because of that hot, the land is dry. Now the temperature during the day, now because there is a lot of sand, and the sand absorbs heat very fast, and when sand absorbs heat very fast, it even cools down very fast. So because of that, the days are very hot and nights are cool. The temperature even drops down to 0 degrees at night. That means you can imagine it is hot in the day and cool at night. The next topic we will be talking about is flora and fauna of Sahara. Now when we talk about flora and fauna, It means plant life and animal life. You already know that Sahara is hot and dry with a short period of rainy season. So how will be the soil? When there is no water and it is hot and dry, the soil will also not be very fertile. So there will be trees that will be like short shrubs that will be growing like cactus, date palm and acacia. Now, even it has oasis. Now, what is an oasis? It is a green island. That means it has in a desert where there is the water table is very low. So the water comes in a form of spring. It springs out of the land and forms a small kind of a green island. There is a water and it can be like a lake also in a desert, or it can be very small like a pond. And around it there are some tribes that stay, and even there is greenery all around. So there is a minimal vegetation can be seen all around the oasis. Now when we talk about animal, now animal in the Sahara are like jackals, foxes, scorpions, snakes, lizards, and there are many other varieties of many other species of snakes and lizards are also found in Sahara. Now basically the animals that are found here are that that hunt lizards and scorpions or snakes, even nocturnal animals, nocturnal birds that usually come out at night. And because it is very hot and the sand is very hot, they burrow themselves deep inside the sand, and when at night it is cool, they come out and that those are known as nocturnal animals. So this was the flora and fauna of Sahara. The next we will be talking about the people of Sahara. So let's talk about the people of Sahara Desert. Now when we talk about people of Sahara Desert, as I have already told you, that there is no vegetation or very less of vegetation. The soil is not very fertile. So what will be the occupation of the people? Now in the Sahara Desert, there are tribes, nomadic tribes. They move from one place to another in search of fertile land, food and water. So the two basic tribes that are found in the Sahara are the Badoons and Tuaregs. These are the two nomadic tribes. They basically settle in those places near the oasis where there is plenty of water for cultivation, for crop production, and even there is greenery for their livestock to graze. Now these group nomadic tribes rear their livestock. Now these livestock like sheep, camel, goats and horses. Now these animals also provide them with dairy products, milk, and from milk they can make butter, cheese and so on. Now even with these livestock, they even use their skin to make leather. Okay, these animals also provide them with milk and hides for making leather belts, slippers, water bottles. Hair is used for mats, carpets, clothes and blankets. Now they wear heavy robes. Now there is long robe like they wear, like a coat they wear, and even they cover their head to protect themselves from against dust storms and hot winds. You must have seen people living in the Arab countries, they wear white robes, long robes, and even they cover their head to keep themselves, like, because white is a color that is less absorbent to heat, and it also protects them from dust storms and heat, hot winds. Now the oases are basically of the Sahara near the Nile Valley in Egypt, where you will find enough settled population. Now since, as I told you, that water is available there. Now apart from rearing livestock, they even grow certain crops that can be grown near the oasis, that are rice, wheat, barley and beets. These are the cash crops. These are the crops that are grown. Now, with the discovery, even there is one more important thing, that is Egyptian cotton, famous worldwide for that is grown in, especially in Egypt. It's a very fine kind of cotton. Now, the discovery of oil, that is a product in great demand. The discovery, like you will find all the Arab countries, they are famous for oil wells. So the discovery of oil has given a lot of employment to a lot of people there and also made them very rich. Now through the world, like Algeria, Libya, Egypt is constantly transforming the Sahara Desert. Other minerals of importance that are magnesium and manganese, uranium and phosphorus and iron also. The cultural landscape of Sahara is undergoing change. Now because of all these discoveries, it has made Sahara very, famous in the world. Now gleaming glass case, office buildings, stars. Now it is no more a desert. It is grown to become a very famous or a very industrial place. Trucks are replacing, camels are replaced by trucks. In the salt trade, tourists are seen acting as guides to foreign tourists. More and more nomadic herdsmen are taking the city life, finding jobs in oil and gas operations. So they are now, from being a nomadic tribe, they are turning themselves to become, taking up jobs in these mining industries in Africa, or the different oil wells or gas industries producing, or even they are becoming guides for the tourists that are coming to Africa. So this was the first part of the explanation of the Sahara Desert. The next comes the cold desert, that is Ladakh.